Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Magic Arena Run. Today we're going to be doing a very quick episode here. Basically it's just about historic shakeup, and I kind of ran out of very good ideas, so I decided to just take a very old known deck list, something that's kind of disappeared from the limelight, and see what's kind of up. Actually, before that, we probably should also take a look at what exactly was what exactly did not make it. So let's bring up the historic shakeup band list. So this one's for everyone's information, and I'm gonna try to see if I can. Okay, nope, that's my usual standby screen. Let's add. No, device capture. No, it's screen cap. No, screen capture. Window, historic shakeup. Here you go. And let's max that. So here are the list of cards that we're not gonna see. So actually, it looks like they took the standard shakeup list and the ban list, but added a few key cards. So let's go over the cards that are banned specifically for this format. So Collected Company, this one, yeah, very good all-star. I'm not going to go over the ones that we know are already banned from standard shakeup. That one was pretty much ported in. So Collected Companies banned. That one's just simply a lot of value. Also, a reason why I decided not to run a Containment Pre-style deck, because I don't have an incentive anymore. This one's banned out. Core Spirit Dancer, this one got banned. So note that SRAM was not banned. So you still can get some value, but Core Spirit Dancer was the bigger draw, basically able to pump herself, so not the same downside as SRAM. Let's see, Llanowar Elves, well, we don't exactly have Birds of Paradise, but Llanowar Elves was pretty much the next best thing. That one got the boot. Muxus Goblin Grandee, no surprise, that one got the boot. That one was pretty much the other meta deck. Omnath Locus of Creation. Phyrexian Tower. This one basically was also for the Goblin deck, though it was primarily for powering up Muxus. I think the deck has other uses. I could see it being used in like zombies or some sort of tokenish control deck. That one is also possible. But that one got the boot. Thoughtseize, biggest thing that got the boot. I'm running a deck that had 4 sets, had 4 Thoughtseize, but I'm not exactly that too shaken up by that loss. Torrential Gearhulk, this one was the latest addition from Kaladesh Remastered. This one, unsurprisingly, would have powered up a lot of control decks. It's basically Snapcaster Mage extra large. And then let's see. Then the other usual suspects. Yeah, we remember a lot of these were banned. Wrath of God is pretty much the last card that is the last card on the list. So, and that one again, this time it looks like the shakeup took out a lot of control cards. It took out a lot of the main combo cards like Muxus, Coco. It didn't really hurt Elves. Zombies is still pretty viable as a aggro synergy deck. That none of its cards were really hit. Well, I guess Thoughtseize was a hit, but you're not exactly really running Thoughtseize for that one. So what am I running, you might be asking? Well, so I said before, it is an older deck list. And basically, if you remember correctly, it was really all about getting value out of Kroxa, dumping stuff in the yard, basically getting value between Stitch's Supplier, Dreadhorn Arcanist, Archfiend's Vessel. It's basically lots and lots of cross synergy. So let's start with the cross synergy part. We'll start with say Stitcher's Supplier. This one dumps a lot of cards in the yard. Why is that a good thing, you might ask? Well, it helps fuel Dreadhorn Arcanist. That's one, and we do have a lot of cheap instants and sorceries. It helps, and this one in turn helps fuel and the Stitcher's Supplier fuels our Kroxa. While at the same time, the Dreadhorn Arcanist dumping stuff The cheap spells helps fuel Young Pyromancer. We get a lot of cheap tokens. Once in a while, we get the Archfiend's Vessel, which we can get back with Claim to Fame. And we can basically trade in our 1/1 for a 5/5. Also, the Lurrus kind of does a good job of that. We can also use Claim to Fame to like get a quick Kroxa hit if that's all we needed. Otherwise, not that many creatures. I added pair of Gutter Bones to basically to fill up the missing gaps. These were supposed to be 4-offs, but I did not want to invest any more wild cards. Otherwise, pretty much Fatal Push, Bloodchief's Curse, Village Rites, Claim the Firstborn. I basically added Pillar of Flame in lieu of Thoughtseize because it's pretty much less about control. It's going to be more about a lot of smaller decks, and sometimes, worst case scenario, I can just fling 2 to the face. This could easily be Shock, but I figured if I want instant removal, I'll stick to the Fatal Push for then. There's still a single Bedevil to supplement Bloodchief's Curse in case we do need to answer Planeswalkers. Claim to Fame, yeah, this one's the main combo piece. It combos really well with a lot of our stuff here. And the only additional thing I put in from Zendikar Rising is Agadeem's Awakening. It's a backup Lurrus in a sense. And otherwise our mana base is pretty much intact. We can apply styles. Okay, just for Agadeem's Awakening. So that's the deck we're going with. Not really super inventive, but it's really more of an exercise to see what is Historic Shakeup about. And I didn't exactly want to worry about issues like consistency. I didn't want to worry about all those things. I'm probably more worried about waiting for the server flicker again and again. I'm probably gonna cancel this. I can't. Okay, I can't cancel. But waiting for server is really scary. If it flickers like this, yeah, I've lost connection to server. So I'm gonna exit the game and I'm gonna be right back. I'll see you then. Okay, a little bit back. It turns out I was not shoved into a game, so that's good news. Oh, by the way, I already got the rewards from this event before. I did a little testing with the deck just to get a quick shot, so you're not gonna see me crack this for the first time. That said, I do like our starting bit. Opponent did not like our starting bit, so that's a quick unearned victory. I'll take that right there. Well, it's also the case that because there's no cost to the event, people can just drop out anytime for no. Like, you're not gonna lose rank. You're not gonna. So there's that. I guess also seeing Lurrus. It's not automatically rogues unlike standard, but it's still scary enough. Okay, this one not as great a start, but we do have options. So I'm gonna actually I'm not too fond of this. It's just a single Stitcher Supplier. I'm kinda hoping to hit something. I don't even have. I'm gonna mulligan this. Okay, this one's slightly better. So Fanatical Firebrand, this one's mono red burn. So the good news is most of our opponent's early creatures are quite susceptible to all our stuff here right now. It'll be odd if our opponent just Burning Tree Emissary, okay, going all in, and passes. I'm gonna save the Bloodchief's Curse because our opponent does have a potential top end. I'm gonna swing first. Then I'm gonna cast. Oh, I tapped them. Oh, I used Pillar of Fire. Oops, wrong mana. I should have used Bloodchief's Curse to secure it. Anyway, it's okay. I don't think our opponent's just gonna Goblin Chain with us like that. Another 3 cards in the yard. Gutter Bones. We have to be a bit careful with playing Lurrus. We want to at least play it at 4 mana. So only if an opponent lost life this turn. So I'm gonna play Stitcher Supplier. Got ourselves a Kroxa, but we can't get it back. We can cast Fame. I'm not gonna punch true. It's not really gonna punch true though. There's a Village Rites, but it's in the yard. We really need a Dreadhorde Arcanist. I suppose what I can do is cast Bloodchief's Curse, snipe the Firebrand, pass the turn. Next turn we just set up for a big Kroxa. Like, sure there's a Chain Whirler, but we're happy to block. There's another Kroxa, there's a Dreadhorde Arcanist. Opponent's down to two cards, so we're gonna punish that back. So take out lands, so Fabled, Agadeems, Swamp, Fabled. There's another land, I think. Nope, that's all our lands, so let's just take out Stitcher Supplier. I think we can build enough cards. Need to start punishing our opponent's hand at this point. We need to run down Mono Red of its resources. That said, opponent actually needs a 4-mana burn spell. I'm actually willing to just take the 5 here. Let's see, what can we do? No blocks because our opponent... Yeah, our opponent did not show Burning Tree Emissary into a Fervent Champion. Okay, so opponent did unload everything. We need... destroy... If a permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn, so... we can... Actually, here's an interesting trick. Let's swing first. I think our opponent might be incentivized to... Oh, they're just taking it? I guess that makes sense. So we have to Fatal Push the Emissary. No. Then let's see. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we can snipe that one. It's a bit scary. Actually, we might... Ghost Legion War Boss. Okay, let's do some math here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12... Yeah, because we're forced to do this one. Yeah, that's good game. Actually, wait, no. Yeah, because the token will have haste. Same thing. We kind of need... Maybe attacking was probably a mistake there. We just needed to hold back and block. What we could have done instead was gain control of, say... Gain control of the Goblin Chain Whirler, swing with that. Opponent blocks with Torbrand. Or takes the hit. We could have just gone for a smaller play like that. We really needed a way to sacrifice stuff. Unfortunately, that was our Village Rites. But sometimes that happens. And the Mono Red seems to be more mid-rangey now, despite the lack of Embercleave. Okay, so we're definitely keeping this Archfiend into a quick claim. Yes, please. Opponent's Aether Spellbomb. So maybe not so quick because, like, let's say we get the Archfiend's Vessel back, our opponent could just bounce it. Oh, it's combo. So I'm actually gonna play the Young Pyromancer first. Let's see if our opponent's just gonna block it. No, they're gonna take it because they know what so I need to see if they have Mox Ambers and stuff. No, they're just hardcasting Lurrus. So Actually, because of this fatal push, can snipe Lurrus. And I probably want to do that. And same deal, swing Archfiend's Vessel. Swing with Archfiend's Vessel, although we are down to red mana, so that's not going to quite cut it. Though we can set up Claim to Fame. Ashiok Dream Render. Mill us. Well, it also mills them. No, actually they're just milling themselves, but without the Emery, they might have to activate Lurrus to... Oh well, that might take a while. They want to activate Lurrus to get back Emery or something like that. Yeah, maybe spending the removal on Lurrus was not such a great idea. I probably would have preferred... I probably should have spent it on Lazav because that one had the bigger backside. And now we're also flooded on land, so our opponent could probably just draw a card. So we are in real trouble. Opponent just needs to mill out the right cards. They're actually milling themselves in this sense. Okay, they hit the Excavator. So they need... Okay, they actually have an actual Excavator, so they probably want to just convert Lazav into Emery, although they're kind of one mana shy. They're just gonna mill more. We hit the Fatal Push, so that's... Well, we're not passing... But since this needs to hit I have to go for... Yeah, I have to go for this one because, yeah, I wish there was a more convenient way to do this. But right now, all our opponent has to do is hit an Emery or hit another Lazav. I might as well just play this one, even if I got nothing to get back. Just why not? It's still a 3-2 Opponent is really gunning for the combo. Thoughtseize, yes, one of the things we really miss on this one. So at least we didn't hit we did hit Dreadhorn Arcanist. That one was really not gonna hit anything. Hits Lurrus, mills 2 cards. They can recast probably Lazav. No, going for the Mox Amber. They have 3 mana. Do they have the no, they hit Lazav. And they hit double Emery, but yeah, we just have to swing with everything, but we're probably not going to win this one. Our opponent is so close to hitting their win con. Well, Pillar Flame kind of does it. Just pass the turn, but yeah, I really can't do anything about it. We're lacking actual X trees. That's something to consider. We might actually want an X tree here. We may also want something that actually... We may actually want a single copy of, like, say, Bojuka Bog, nuke our opponent's graveyard. So I don't have to worry about Lazav now becoming Emery, buying back, say, Mox Amber. Or Lazak becoming Lurus, buying back a Mox Amber, whatnot. Okay, this is becoming Lurus, buying back Underworld. Can recast all their Mox then. I think they have 1, 2. They need to be careful with the cards they remove, but they have like, it's another Breach and a land. They have another Mox. So they did tap that for mana, right? Yeah, they did. So probably remember to tap it for, okay, tapping for Diligent Excavator, which makes sense. They need to get Mox Amber, which, because they only, they're just gonna keep milling, but because they only have one, there's the Thassa's Oracle. And they can just actually cycle this. I think they have the lock at this point. They just need to recast Mox Amber. They'll just keep recasting Mox Amber over and over again. Actually, I can just call it good game right now. Our opponent has it. We unfortunately stonewalled against X-Trees, and which is actually quite good. We did not hit the... We actually stoned ourselves into a lot of lands. So not exactly showcasing... Not exactly showcasing the deck. We're finally hitting the matchups I'm not great at. Let's see, what are the matchups I won against? I did win once against Mono Red. So it is possible. The other one was like a green-white... Like a green-white value deck. It had a lot of it had a lot of enchantment creatures, but that was it. I think it was a life gain counter style deck. Okay. Definitely want to hit red. Okay. Probably keeping the worst possible hands. Okay, Scarred Barons. Okay, turn 2 Dreadhorn Arcanist. Opponent's treasure mapping, so... So if our opponent doesn't do anything, I'm going Young Pyromancer, Village Rites, the Stitches Supplier. I'm assuming our opponent has an answer to Dreadhorn Arcanist. In fact, this is looking like Doom Foretold. No, Power Stone Shard. Okay, so it's a ramped style deck. Opponent can scry, sure. So probably Young Pyromancer draw into more cards. Okay, there's an Agadeem's Awakening, which we... Since we don't really need the mana, just play this tap. Yeah, cast that. Sack the Supplier. Okay, claim the Firstborn. Might be relevant, but I sincerely doubt it if our opponent is playing these colors. Our opponent might just be running like X-Rats. Wrath of God effects. 3 mana. Power Stone Shard again. Into another Power Stone Shard. Okay, so we're expecting an Ugin in our future. Into a Mind Stone. Yeah, there's an Ugin in our future. Not having Thoughtseize really hurts us. Maybe we should have Duress. It would also have... It probably would have helped us in that previous matchup also. Though it just bins in the yard. Leyline probably benefits us more, I guess. Also, we're technically not fast enough. Like, we don't have a spell in the yard, so... I might have to actually play a Stitcher Supplier just to get things going. So, let's... activate. Let's get the... Red Source. Stitcher Supplier, let's see what we can get. Archfiend's Vessel. Yeah, really whiffing on that one. So I might actually just play Lurus, considering what I know is coming up next. But yeah, this is a horrible setup right now. Like, our opponent has 3, 6, 9, 10, 13 mana right now. Hmm. Yeah, like 13 mana right now. This is... 13 Yeah, we're gonna see an Ugin in our future, and we're not gonna be able to do anything about it. Well, 2 mana left. Phylactery Lich. We can actually just gain control of it, and it will... Gaining control of it actually sacrifices it. What's our opponent's last card? Okay, so... Okay, so first, let's gain control of this just to get it out of the way. Does our opponent have a response? Then that's a sacrifice. So that gets rid of the Lich. Then I probably just play the Pillar of Flame, ding our opponent. This one's just so we can get another shot at the Pillar of Flame, which we're gonna aim at our opponent's face. Our opponent's probably gonna just make a token for token to block the Young Pyromancer, which makes perfect sense. Eats up all their cards, which is kinda expected, kinda fine. Also because we can just play Lurrus to bring back Young Pyromancer. So I probably just want to play one Gutter Bones and bring the other Gutter Bones back. That said, we are still in real trouble. Our opponent has a lot of mana. Tapping white? Okay, what's... Cleansing Nova or on... Cleansing Nova is probably on the docket. Once hit 5 mana. Realm Cloak Giant. Okay, that wipes the entire board. Now, that said, unless our opponent is starting to draw cards, they can actually just recast a Giant. We bin both copies of Claim to Fame, so... But... Lurrus buyback... Oh, wait! If our opponent doesn't have instant speed response, we might... Just might. I'm not too sure. Depends on what our... opponent casts the Realm Cloak Giant down to 2 mana. Let's bring back the correct card. I don't think our opponent has a response. Yeah, that's it. Turns out, opponent killing our Stitcher supplier milled the correct cards. Thank you, opponent. So we actually did it. I was actually scared of all our opponent's mana. It turns out, yeah, our opponent had a lot of mana. They just didn't happen to draw into the cards that actually do anything with it. We'll probably do about 1 or 2 more games with this one. We'll see how... Got quite a bit of time. Yeah, maybe while I'm waiting. Good. On one hand, I'm gonna be happy when the year is over, but on the other hand, it's hard to say if it will be better or worse. Definitely keeping this one. Our opponent's playing Obosh, so this is probably gonna be some sort of adventure style deck. That one actually ports over quite well. I take it back, it's just mono red. So definitely playing these out first. It's a shame we don't have the double back for the Devil, this, even though I know I have way more swamps than mountains. I would like it if I can play Young Pyromancer when it goes to Wayward Beast, which we can Fatal Push. So our opponent probably is a landfall deck. Let's see, they play the land, they probably play... Ooh, nice combo actually. So... I read. Because at least Wayward Guide Beast for this will keep setting them back in lands. So at least I'm willing to take the hit that way. Opponent has shot. Yeah, sure. It's kind of expected. So next turn we go Dreadhorde Arcanist. Okay, going Lava Runner. So we're actually gonna go Arcanist. Stitcher Supplier. Start filling up our yard. Well, that's actually good. We actually needed lands upcoming, so... Just need to preserve the Dreadhorde Arcanist. Wizard... Okay, never mind. One had Wizard's Lightning. Yes, we're gonna keep setting back your mana base because we know that's what happens. But we needed those lands now. Opponent's actually doing quite well as a one mana deck. Okay, finally hit the land. So I can Kroxa into nothing, or I can just wait. I'm gonna see if our opponent actually has a second land. Oh, they did have a second land. Okay. So... Kroxa. Okay, there's a third land. So next, if our opponent can't answer this, we're gonna chump block the Lava Runner. We're definitely getting Kroxa back next turn, no matter what. Okay, opponent. Opponent might now be forced to just... Oh, they actually have Skewer. Okay. Mountain Swamp. One Devil, one Pyromancer. I'd say I'd take the... Yeah, I only need one young Pyro. So we'll see if we can hold the fort. Especially our opponents now, well, they're living off the top of the deck now. I probably can just play Wayward Guide Beast. Tapped. Yeah, we're just really knocking on wood we don't get hit by a shock. I'm actually... Okay, if that's our opponent's play, I'm actually considering just Lurus into Arcanist, start getting stuff back. Because it doesn't really matter if we're dead to a shock anyway. And our opponent has demonstrated that they have that. Nope, opponent did not draw it. So we get to live another day. The Arcanist would have gotten one of our Pillar of Flame. Would have gotten Pillar of Flame to nuke that one. So we survived that deck. And yeah, it was a very close call. But I'll take it. I guess we'll probably do just one more match. So it's really a question: is the Pillar of Flame worth it, or should I swap it out for Duress? Or maybe make some adjustments. Like, I want to aim for more black mana, so maybe just more fatal pushes instead of pillars. Yuck. Actually, not so yuck. We're skipping one turn, so not ideal for this. But depending on what our opponent plays, it will inform us what to do. Like if our opponent says, okay, place that. And next turn we get to this. And next turn, depending on what our opponent plays, we get to decide. Maybe the Dreadhorn Arcanist is probably a good thing. Okay, Nimble Trap Finder. Okay, missed the land, but gives us an excuse to nuke this one. So it looks like our opponent's playing Azorius Party. It's a bit sad to break the party up a bit. I am tempted to just Village Rites for two more. Village Rites for two. Okay, well, it has Linvala. Okay, we hit the Let's just cast this now while our opponent's tapped. I might actually just, yeah, hold up Village Rites. I'm suspecting our opponent should have some sort of removal. I'll be really cross if our opponent just happens to have Grafdigger's Cage. Pins on. I'm gonna see what our opponent has. But definitely a party. You really don't run Linvala unless that's what your aim is. Luminarch Aspirant. Opponent's not gonna try to remove it, so I guess I might just swing with the Archfiend's Vessels, then sack it to Village Rites. Deputy of Detention. Okay, we'll let him target one first. Yeah, I figured he'd have something like that. Oh, claim! Opponent can sacrifice this in response. Which is actually better than... Which is fine. Because it does set them back a bit. Okay, 5 cards in yard. Opponent just sacks in response, I guess. It gives it what? Hexproof, indestructible. If our opponent lets us take it, that really makes no sense. Yeah, sacrifice it. So at least it's out of the way. And let that resolve. Then we'll just get Lurrus to get back Dreadhorde. They'll probably choose Indestructible since, well, they might be concerned I have a... If they choose Hexproof, they chose Hexproof. They have no idea that what my last card is. They're probably scared of it. They're actually gonna... Well, it does buffer me a little bit, so that's good news. So next turn, we're definitely going for... We're definitely Lurrus Arcanist. What? Probably should put the... Well, they're playing the Aspirant. Oh, they're just swinging it every... Opponent probably has something big. Not settle the wreckage because they're missing the double white. Squad commander, that puts them a few tokens. Okay, so we have a reason to hold back now. So now we're gonna hold these guys back because our opponent clearly wants to swing. They probably have an effect that buffs their board, like Unbreakable Formation. It'll force a lot of mass blocking. It's gonna be kind of sad because I really want to keep Lurrus alive. Deputy of Detention, that should nuke out... Okay, nuke out that one. Yes. I can swing at Arcanist, we will lose this, but... At least I don't have to worry about creatures growing again. We'll end up taking out one token. That's kind of fine. Because we can actually just buy it back. And we actually want to start loading up the yard because we have a Kroxa that we want to play. Okay, now we have to be careful. Opponent now has double white. Settle the wreckage is still a possibility. Never mind, opponent conceded. Looks like no settle the wreckage. Yeah, if you're gonna play a super aggro party in Historic, play settle the wreckage. Never underestimate the power of a reset switch. So there you go. We actually did quite well. Well, it's not exactly something new, but it is something that is that still works. And if you need something easy to work on Historic Shakeup, this is probably a good fit. Again, the question marks really the Pillar of Flame. You might want to consider Duress. Agonizing Remorse, kind of harder to do with Dreadhorde Arcanist. But yeah, the Juras is probably more likely to hit. In fact, it's more likely to see play, although I'm seeing a lot of creature-based decks, so not necessarily. Anyway, that's it for this episode of the Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, turn on notifications and whatnot. As always, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you guys again next time in the new year. May you have a better year. And indeed, may all things go well. Have a nice day.